There are 5 lies circulating about Quonset Barndominiums right now. 4 of them get said out loud in listings, in thumbnails, in concept renders. The 5th is never spoken at all, and it is the most expensive one on the list. These are not small distortions. Believe the first lie, and your budget lands 25 to 30% short, tens of thousands of dollars, on a mid-size build. Believe the 4th, and the damage is worse than money. That one physically destroys the building, quietly, from inside the walls. So this video corrects all 5, and every correction comes with a current 2026 number. The same standard the lies fail. No name channels, no outrage. Just the claims, the figures, and what survives. Because here is the strange part. The building survives all 5 corrections. The marketing does not. We finish with the silent one. Let's go. Before the lies, one question. Where do they come from? Because the answer is not villains. It is incentives. And once you see the incentives, you can spot the lie before it costs you anything. Start with who is talking. A kit seller advertises the number it controls, which is the kit, not the number you will actually pay, which is the finished build. That is not fraud. That is a company quoting its own product. The distortion happens when you hear kit price, and your brain fills in house price. Thumbnail economics push the same direction. The smallest number wins the click. So the smallest number gets printed, and render channels chase the prettiest possible image, whether or not that image can keep the rain out. Nobody in that chain has to be dishonest. The algorithm and the commission do the lying for them. For anyone new to these buildings, the 30-second version, a Quonset is a series of corrugated steel arches bolted together where the panel is the structure, the roof, and the walls, all at once. No interior load-bearing walls. The kit is the arch, the Barndominium is everything you add to it. Hold that last line, because 4 of the 5 lies live in the gap between those 2 things. Here is the standard this video holds itself to. Every correction comes with a current, sourced 2026 figure. That is the exact standard the lies cannot meet. They rely on a number being left out, not a number being wrong. The lies are not conspiracies. They are incentives wearing a thumbnail. Lie number 1 is the biggest, so it goes first. Lie number 1. The kit price is the house price. This is the foundational lie, the one all the others build on top of. You see a number, a shell price, presented as though it were the cost of a finished home. It is not. It is the cost of a stack of curved steel. Here is the truth, with every figure attached. Kits run $6 to $20 per square foot, which puts a 30 by 40 shell at $7,200 to $24,000. Real numbers. But watch what that kit price quietly leaves out. It leaves out the end walls, the 2 flat faces of the building, the ones your front door and windows sit in. From the supplier, those run $2,000 to $8,000 for the pair. It leaves out the base connectors, the steel that actually attaches the arch to your slab, at $30 to $48 per linear foot. It leaves out closed cell spray foam at $1.50 to $4 per square foot, and doors at $500 to $2,000 each. An independent 2026 review put it precisely. Those omitted items add 25 to 30% over the advertised kit price. So, the honest finished number for a fully completed 30 by 40 Barndominium averages $45,000 to $60,000. Now here is what makes this lie so pointless. That finished number is still excellent. Conventional construction runs $150 to $300 per square foot. The Quonset wins that comparison decisively, honestly, with nothing hidden. The building survives the truth. The thumbnail is the only thing that doesn't. Lie number 2 is not hidden in a listing. It is printed right on the floor plan. Lie number 2. Every square foot on the plan is yours. This one is sneakier than the price lie, because it comes with a drawing that looks authoritative. The floor plan says 1,200 square feet. You start placing furniture against those walls in your head, and that is where the lie does its work. Here is the truth. On full radius arch models, the curved walls surrender roughly 25 to 30% of the floor area near the edges. Where the arch sweeps down to meet the slab, the wall is leaning in over your feet. The plan calls that floor. Your bookshelf calls it a wall it cannot sit against. A bed, pushed to the edge, loses its headboard to the curve. The number on the paper and the number you can furnish are not the same number. There are honest fixes, and they cost honest money. You frame knee walls 12 to 18 inches inside the steel skin, which gives you a flat vertical surface at interior finish prices, framing and drywall in the range of $9 to $19 per square foot. Or you buy a straight sidewall S model, which runs roughly 10% more at the kit and hands the usable wall back to you. Either way, you pay for that space. The listing does not mention that you pay for it. Now the fair part, because this lie has a flip side, the volume compensates. A 30-foot arch peaks near 15 feet, and the curve makes the space feel considerably larger than it measures. The lie is specifically about floor area, not about how the room feels to stand in. Lie number 3, you have almost certainly already seen. It is the prettiest one on the list. Lie number 3. Glass walls go anywhere. Call it the render lie. You have seen these images. A gorgeous Quonset home with floor-to-ceiling glass running the length of the curved side, sunlight pouring through a wall of windows set into the arch. It is stunning. It is also, in most of those renders, structurally impossible. Here is the truth, and it comes straight from the suppliers themselves. Openings for doors and windows are restricted to the end walls, because the side walls are the structure. The arch gets its strength from being one continuous, uninterrupted curve that is the entire engineering principle. Cut a wall of glass into that curve, and you have removed the very thing holding the building up. It can sometimes be done, but only with additional engineering and additional cost, and never as the casual glass ribbon the renders show. So here is what light honestly looks like in one of these homes. You glaze the end walls, the two flat faces, as much as you like. You add skylights, which most suppliers offer as a standard option. You put generous glass in the end wall doors. That is real, buildable daylight. And here is a test you can use forever. If an image shows a wall of glass running down the curved flank of the arch, with no visible reinforcement or structural story, you are looking at a render, not a building. A render does not have to keep the rain out. A building does. Now, lie number 4 is different from everything so far. Lies 1, 2, and 3 cost you money. Lie number 4 costs you the building itself. Stay with me for this one. Lie number 4, insulation is optional. It shows up in 2 forms. The first sounds reasonable, insulate later, when the budget allows. The second sounds knowledgeable. Fiberglass bats work fine. Both of them will quietly wreck your building. Here is the physics. Steel conducts temperature aggressively. It moves heat and cold straight through itself. And curved steel physically rejects bad insulation. The geometry will not hold a fiberglass bat tight against the arch. So you get gaps. And gaps are where the trouble starts. The only real option is closed-cell spray foam. Full encapsulation, no gaps, at $1.50 to $4 per square foot. Now watch what happens when someone believes the lie. Warm, humid interior air reaches the cold steel skin. Moisture condenses inside the wall where you cannot see it. Do that through a few seasons of freeze and thaw, and the owner ends up with elevated energy bills, moisture damage, and mold growing behind the drywall. By the time it is visible, it has been happening for years. And here is why this particular lie spreads so easily. Spray foam is one of the single largest line items in the whole build. Cut it from the budget, and suddenly a fake, too low number looks achievable. The lie exists because it makes the price lie work. So burn this one in. On a steel building, insulation is not a comfort upgrade you add later. It is the moisture control system that keeps the structure from destroying itself. Skip it and the building consumes itself from the inside. Lies 1 through 3 empty your wallet. Lie 4 rots your walls. And now the 5th lie, the one I told you, is never spoken out loud. Lie number 5 is different from the other 4 because there is nothing to quote. It is a lie of omission. Do this. Read every kit listing you can find. Watch every glossy build tour. And count how many of them seriously discuss financing. Almost none. That silence is the 5th lie, and it is the most expensive one on the list. Here is what the silence hides. Most conventional mortgage lenders will not underwrite a steel arch home. Appraisers frequently classify these buildings as agricultural or temporary structures, the paperwork bin for barns, not houses. And the appraisal system runs on comparable recent sales nearby, which for an arch home mostly do not exist. No comparable sales means no assigned value, and no value means no loan, regardless of your income or your credit score. Now the cost of that silence, in numbers. The mortgage you cannot easily get runs around 6.5% over 30 years. The personal loan you will be offered instead averages 12.28% over a term of 2 to 7 years. On a $50,000 build, that difference is roughly 4 times the monthly payment. The silence does not just cost you convenience. It restructures your entire budget, and it follows you out the door. When you sell, your buyer walks into the same wall, which shrinks the pool of people who can purchase your home. There are honest routes, and I will name them without selling them. Construction to permanent loans from local banks, credit unions, and farm credit lenders, typically at 20% down or more, and phased cash. The pay-as-you-build approach this bolt-together design was practically invented for. So why does nobody mention any of it? Because financing friction kills the sale, and everyone in the transaction gets paid on the sale. 4 lies are printed. The 5th is the white space around them. Now the part of debunked video owes you the claims that are actually true. Start with what the marketing gets right, because a debunker who never confirms anything is just running a different sales pitch. 3 claims about these buildings hold up completely. True claim number 1. The assembly really is that easy. This is not a marketing exaggeration. Panels arrive pre-cut and pre-drilled. Connections are bolted, no welding is involved, and a crew of 2 to 4 people with hand tools can stand a mid-sized shell in a matter of days. The listings that say most owners build these themselves are telling the truth most owners genuinely do. True claim number 2. The durability is real, and it is not marketing gloss. Certified wind ratings run around 140 miles per hour. Snow load ratings run 30 to 70 pounds per square foot. And the oldest proof point is unbeatable. Arches built for a war 8 decades ago are still standing around the world, unrestored. You cannot fake an 80-year track record. True claim number 3. The cost advantage survives every single correction in this video. Even after you add back the end walls, the connectors, the foam, the doors, the usable space fix, even at the honest finished number of $45,000 to $60,000 for 1,200 square feet, the building still lands at a fraction of conventional construction's $150 to $300 per square foot. The truth is slower and less flattering than the thumbnail, and it is still a good deal. Here is the meta rule that defeats all 5 lies at once. Budget the finished number, not the kit number. Call the county building department before you place a deposit. And pull local comparable sales before you talk to any lender. Do those 3 things and not one of the 5 lies can touch you. The building never needed the lies. The sales funnel did. 1 page. Here are the 5. Swept up in one place, so you can carry them out the door. Lie 1. The kit price is the house price. It hides 25 to 30% of your budget. Lie 2. Every square foot on the plan is yours. The curve takes a quarter of it back. Lie 3. Glass walls go anywhere. The side walls are the structure, and the render cannot keep out rain. Lie 4. Insulation is optional, the lie that rots the building from inside its own walls. And lie 5, the silent one. Nobody mentions what happens at the bank, because the truth about financing kills the sale. Notice what all 5 share. Every one of them moves a real cost or a real constraint out of your sight until it is too late to walk away. That is the whole mechanism. Not one of these lies invents a fake advantage, each one simply hides a true cost. And notice what the corrections share. Every single one came with a current sourced number. And after all 5, the building is still standing cheaper per square foot than conventional construction, tougher than its reputation, and completely honest about what it asks of you. Your labor, your diligence, and a phone call to the county. Here is the verdict, stated exactly. The strongest argument for a Quonset Barndominium is the one the lies keep getting in the way of. That the truth, fully counted, with nothing hidden, is still a genuinely good deal. The building does not need to be oversold. It needs to be understood. 2 answers in the comments, and be honest. First, which of the 5 lies had you? No judgment. The comments are full of people. It cost real money, and naming it helps the next person. Second, what is the 6th lie you have run into that I should take apart next? I read every comment, and I answer build questions personally. We cover alternative builds every week here. Real costs, real timelines. What works and what does not. Subscribe, hit the notification bell, and I will see you on the next build.